white maple and ash bark, lush emerald flats, the fall-colored arena harp, the wide superior mats. At the valley's peak, encircled my life, the open space speaks. Let me end the strife.
Oh, bro, good luck. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Let's see who we got in here today. So we got about 8, 9, 10 people. What's up, JR? See if Terry's in here. Always like to see me some Terry on the live. All right, well, I'm gonna get started today. I'm gonna cover mainly Bitcoin. I wanted to go over the crypto total chart as well as Bitcoin dominance. Go over some altcoins and then answer any questions you guys have. So let's get into it. All right, so what we're looking at is the what's up, Alec, JR, Hambo. All right, let's get into it. So what we're looking at here is the Bitcoin daily. Still seeing that head and shoulders playing out. Still haven't broken that neckline. I drew a couple extra lines just to show how much resistance is between us. That 43 to about 46K, lots of resistance in there. So if you're looking to long, I would definitely wait until we break above at least 47K, maybe even 48 if you're playing it safe. But overall, I'm not seeing a lot of or a lot of bullish sentiment right now. Everything looks pretty bearish in my opinion. So let's get in a little price action. So daily price action, we're still going down. We're still seeing these pretty big spikes in volume as we continue down. Little sideways movement in here. To me, this is just some sideways movement to continue down. I don't see a big reason to be bullish right now. I've seen a lot of tweets. A lot of people are changing their minds. People are getting bullish randomly. And you're going to see some volatility in here, especially on the weekend. We saw some scam pump. We saw some scam dump. A lot of liquidation plays. I wouldn't get too excited. We're still at the same price we were at. What was that, 4 or 5 days ago? Still moving sideways. I think it's allowing the hourly charts to cool off, to come back to the medium and RSI to continue downwards. You can never go down in a straight line, although these dumps have been very sharp. To further dissect this, we look at a 4-hour here. Just going to take my auto off. This isn't very good. We can see we're kind of bouncing off 40K, so we can call 40K maybe the start of the support. I'd call the end about 38K. Anything below 38K in this thing is getting destroyed. I mean, we're talking about full-blown bear market. We're talking about 20K. We're talking about DCA once we get all the way to the bottom to the 200 moving average. I think that would really confirm a very strong bear market sentiment. I don't know how you can be bullish if we break 38K. There's nothing holding it up anymore at that point. And besides that, anything below 30K, the next support in my mind is 20K. It hasn't even been back tested. We really only saw up from 20 to 30K. So anyways, 4-hour price action. First thing I want to note is every time we kind of go up or we see these upward spikes, again, last stream I kind of covered this, we're seeing bearish price action. Nothing's really looking bullish price action wise, even here. So this kind of pump, even though we came back down, made somewhat of a double bottom, we're still ultimately continuing up with lower volume, which is bearish. In my mind, this is coming down. I think we break 48K next time we test it. As you can see, like MACD didn't even break into the bullish territory above. It rejected kind of where I figured it would. We made a lower high, have not made a lower low yet. So we're kind of waiting for that. RSI, same thing. You could kind of consider this bearish divergence. I'm not really picky about the RSI right now. I'm really focused on the price action, which price action is looking very bearish. Let's look at a 1 hour. So yeah, today, kind of weird. I mean, we're seeing this like uptick in selling volume as we're coming down, seeing kind of a bounce. This could make a head and shoulders on the 1 hour. So basically you'd be looking to round off right around here and then continue down. Anything below this this neckline at like 43K, any kind of close below that would probably signal quite the dump, either back to 40 or below. I do want to note that this kind of head and shoulders thing we are seeing a lower right side, which generally indicates that the pattern is going to play out. I've seen it happen. We've seen it happen on the day, right up here. So we have this kind of left shoulder here, this head. We have this sharp decline where the right side is lower than the left side, kind of a comeback for a right shoulder, and then we ultimately broke below, and now we're kind of retesting that prior support as resistance now. So, in my opinion, ultimately, like I think the best case scenario if you're in a long is we go up, test about 44.5, and then continue down. But I could see us dropping tonight. I mean, sentiment's not looking good. That guy from Binance, like, what the heck? He got like arrested. He's screwed. He's totally screwed. So I think sentiment's pretty bad. I don't see like a lot of bullish news from banks buying. I don't see big buy orders coming in. I'm seeing a lot of Bitcoin being taken out of cold storage. A lot of Bitcoin, which is kind of frightening. We've seen that at this dump. I saw a lot of Bitcoin get removed off Zappo or whatever, however you say it. A lot of Bitcoin coming from wallets onto exchanges, really prepping for this big downward move. So I think people are gearing up. It's been confirmed. It's been back tested. People are ready to sell. Maybe some people have hope, but ultimately ready to sell. This isn't looking good. We're not breaking any resistance levels just yet. Good morning from Indonesia. Good evening from America. Big ups, driving and listening. How's it going, Terry? What's up, Ant? You have a dead dog in the corner? Actually, that's a black bear. Yeah, over there. That's my Rottweiler Dozer. He's we went on a big walk earlier and we played some fetch in the backyard. He's pretty tired, so he's dying like Bitcoin is. It's good you call that out. Yeah, usually I leave him upstairs because he comes over and bothers me, and his bed is actually right over here, and when he like lays down, he always bumps into the desk, so the whole thing looks like an earthquake's going on. But he wanted to come down here and sleep, so it's nice and cool in the basement. All right, so back to the 1 hour. Yeah, again, head and shoulders looking like it's forming. Volume comes in if you're in the U.S. in about 2 hours, around 8 p.m. So maybe we see a little pump to make that right shoulder, but ultimately, like, I don't think we're going above 43.4. I mean, 4 hour MACD's kind of pointing into weakness here. I mean, although 1 hour is kind of looking to maybe make a move upwards, 4 hours looking like it's ready to bend the knee. So, in my opinion, I think we've seen the last little attempt at this resistance level. I think we're going down from here. Also, if I want to get really cheeky with my lines, I could try and draw something like, I guess that really doesn't work. Well, regardless, I think we're going down from here. I think today is the final day where all those people on Twitter, all the moon boys on Twitter are done. Like, it's done. We're going below 40K soon. Nothing looks good. So, back to my weekly chart real quick. I've seen a lot of things about like a bear trap. I've seen a lot of things that bears are screwed, bears are this, bears are that, whatever. I'm not really a true bear, but although I am bearish in this sentiment or this current market state. So, like, first things first, if you just draw like a normal uptrend line, which works most of the time, you have an upward move, a retest, go up, break down, and now you have a retest of prior support. That's really bearish. That's really not good. When I open up the moving averages, we see this death cross forming. Again, not a good sign. When I open up the 21 EMA, or WEMA as I usually call it, we actually closed below it. We actually closed below the 21 EMA, kind of retested it, didn't really hold. In my opinion, I mean, the last time we closed below the 21 EMA was around here, and look what happened. We had this huge drop from 46 to 30K. I think it's likely. I do think we're going to drop. I mean, we rejected right where we needed to. Yeah, I mean, we've rejected right where we've needed to from the top. Ultimately, this thing's going down. So, another thing when you're doing analysis is you should look at multiple avenues. And one thing I wanted to note is this total chart. I tweeted this earlier today. It's something I've been looking at for the last couple weeks, and I wanted to kind of take a minute to explain this. So, similar to the Bitcoin chart, we have our trend line. Ultimately, we have not closed a breakdown. We have broken down, but it hasn't been a real confirmed breakdown. This is kind of a scam wiki thing going on here. But looking at this isn't very good. We have a double top forming, very bearish pattern, pretty much a reversal pattern in my mind. It's one of my favorite patterns to trade: double top, double bottom. Not looking good, and that's also kind of confirmed by this price action down here. We're seeing that volume is going down as price is going up. That's bearish. That usually leads to a downward move, which we're seeing now. We're seeing a lot of selling volume coming in. It's not looking good for total. I do think this cycle is coming to an end, especially if we close this weekly or the next weekly candle below. I do think we'll have an answer within the next week or two. Like, things either need to pump this week or it's done. And the daily, the hourlies, nothing's looking good. So, in my opinion, a black swan event. Maybe the ETF saves us or saves people that are long. In my opinion, I think you're going to know this week or early next week. So back to this. I also want to note that MACD very weak, weakening, and the peak is a lot lower. It looks like it's about to cross. RSI, same kind of thing, and I believe, nope, we did not. But RSI showing a very negative implication. That's usually a bearish sign. Healthy RSI is anything like this over here, where you have this bottom. We keep making higher highs. Well, now we're making higher highs with higher lows. Higher highs with higher lows. Lower highs. Excuse me. Which is a sign of market exhaustion, a sign of weakness, which is why we saw this big dump. Coming back up, we made this. If you look from bottom to top, we do have a high. I don't think it's going to hold. I think we're going to dump pretty soon. Things aren't looking very good. Who's going to jail? I missed that. Any news? So there was a guy from Binance who was working with North Korea to avoid paying sanctions to the United States using cryptocurrency. And I believe the cryptocurrency was Ethereum. I could be wrong, but it's not good. And he's in a lot of trouble. It's not looking good. But regardless, that's just one of the things I wanted to add to the overall bearish sentiment. Globally, we're not looking very good. We have the whole Evergrande situation in China. The U.S. is printing more money than they ever have before. All of these things have consequences that we're ultimately going to pay for, whether it's in the crypto space, the stock space, whatever. At some point, people are going to start paying for the decisions that are being made. So the next chart I wanted to get into is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So let me get rid of this 21 EMA. Oh, no problem. How do I say that? Torsten? Yeah, the Ethereum developer. Yeah. Torsten. Thank you, Torsten. I appreciate it. Let's get into Bitcoin dominance. All right. So I had tweeted this earlier. I forgot to remove all the text, but I guess I'll take a minute to explain it. Bitcoin dominance, very bearish in my opinion. So over here is 2018. We saw this kind of double bottom pattern form. Kind of a weird double bottom, but still pretty much a double bottom. Once it confirmed up here at closing above the neckline confirmation, bear market confirmation, but we knew a lot sooner. We knew that we were in a bear market a lot sooner. If you draw just a simple resistance line, we have a trend breakout. So now we're going to form an uptrend. Not necessarily very good. And vice versa. Now we're looking in 2021 at the similar situation. We have another double bottom forming, which is pretty clean double bottom in my opinion. The bottoms are pretty much the same. And now we're approaching this trend line. So we have two options. We can break above the trend line, which is about a 2 to 3 week time span, which in my opinion would completely confirm the bear market. I think other charts would look extremely bearish from there. And this one would ultimately confirm that. Or we continue down. I don't think we're continuing down. Bitcoin's not looking good. Altcoin charts are showing extremely bearish patterns, head and shoulders, double tops, trend breaks, weakness on trying to get back above trend. It's not looking good. The whole sentiment's pretty bearish in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, we were waiting for this trend line to break and I guess this neckline to break, but I think we'll be way past bear market at that point. Things are not looking very strong on the upward side. So I guess I'll kind of explain that a little bit. So with Ethereum, and this is what I kind of mean by Bitcoin dominance. So Ethereum showing a head and shoulders. I mean, a little wonky, but head and shoulders. You have your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder, your neckline, which is diagonal. And you have this breakdown and now a retest. Multiple retests and failures to get back above. Pretty bearish, actually very bearish. That is, the head and shoulders is a bearish reversal pattern. And when you break below it and then retest it, that pretty much confirms the pattern. So this pattern is confirmed. I'm expecting to go down more. I believe I pulled out, let's see, what other ones was I looking at? I believe I pulled out Sol as well. Yeah, so Sol broke its original uptrend line, retested it. Now we're going below. I drew this kind of resistance, well, what is now resistance, this resistance level failing to get above. Very weak price action on the recovery. Again, another test, failure to get back above. It's very bearish. I believe I did BNB as well. So BNB, double top, confirmed. No retest yet, but I don't think we're going to have one. BNB is pretty toast. This chart's looking rough. Not looking good. So, yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Want me to go over anything real fast? About accumulation. I guess we get to see if it's just hopium. I don't think anyone's accumulating. I think you're being lied to. I think that there are these huge crypto YouTubers and these huge accounts that are trying to, well, one, they get paid from liquidating, from you getting liquidated. That's why they advertise using leverage on exchanges such as Bybit. I'm not going to mention any names because if I do, I'm going to get mentioned, and I don't need that. But yeah, they basically get paid by these exchanges to tell you to use their promo codes in Bybit. Then you can trade using leverage, and then you get liquidated when the market does these crazy these moves, especially on the weekend. Like this weekend price action was crazy. But if you just look at it from a simple point, we're still going down with volume and up with price. That's bearish. I mean, every time we retest that prior support line, it fails. So to me, it's bearish. How much value do you hold to a 20 and a 50 EMA crossing on the posted crosses in the last 2 years, and it seems really consistent? So I don't really use moving averages as much, but I will say one thing. This golden cross nonsense that I saw 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever the golden cross happened, I actually think it was a week and a half ago. I don't want to be too dramatic here. But yeah, so you have this golden cross of the 50 over the 200. Every golden cross I've seen in the past has led to a 10% move down. And I tried to call this out on Twitter, and I got mocked and shamed and told I was an idiot and that I sucked at my analysis. So let's see. When I called it around here, saying that we were going to have a golden cross, okay, we saw a little pump, and then we saw a 20% move to the downside. It's just too easy. Okay, so back to my point. Golden cross. Saw golden cross here in February of 2020? Yeah, February 2020. Although, I'll give this to you. This was COVID, so I'm trying to be fair here. I'm discounting this and not saying that this would have happened if COVID never happened. But regardless, golden cross. We see these couple of green days and then a 15% move to the downside. There's my first example. My second example, let's see, second example was right here. Golden cross. Actually, we dumped right away on the golden cross. Great. Okay, so instead of seeing, we saw a little bit of green leading up to the golden cross, we cross, and ultimately the bottom was about 12% down. So my whole point was just because there's a golden cross doesn't mean we're going to 100K tomorrow. Like usually we see a big 10% movement down, and in any portfolio size, you want to capitalize on that. Like you could have bought 10% lower than you were on the golden cross. Like that event is purely so whales can get you liquidated 100%. And I've seen it so many times where I'm like, no, I know what's going to happen. We're going to drop right after this. They're using news, they're using everything to liquidate people because they know this bull market is over. So let's go back. Back to your original question. My apologies. I kind of skipped over it with the 50 over the 200. So I do see this 20 over the 50. It's a death cross. We actually saw a pump. What a shocker. We're looking for more liquidations as whales. So we actually pumped, I believe, 10%. Yeah, a little bit more than 10%. So these crosses are, one, they're lagging indicators, and two, they're being used as sell-off, and they're being used as liquidation strategies by exchanges and whales because they make a ton of money when you get liquidated. When hundreds of thousands or millions of people get liquidated, they make a ton of money. Stop buying on golden crosses and stop selling on death crosses. They actually have an inverted effect immediately. Long term, they do have somewhat of an effect, though. I mean, obviously, we saw that this golden cross, let's see, this golden cross here, I mean, it led to the bull market. In my opinion, if COVID never happened, we probably would have stayed above the 200 moving average. We probably would have just moved sideways like this, then pumped up. I mean, this was a huge accumulation grab. So, you know, golden crosses, death crosses, just don't do anything on them. Just wait. It never plays in your favor, and the whales have caught onto this. The whales and exchanges have caught onto this. They're just trying to make money by liquidating you. It's just too easy to see. Come on, guys, pump up the likes. Oh, thanks, Terry. Yeah, if you guys like it, please subscribe. Please like. It helps with the algorithm. Real quick, we also have a Discord. I believe we're at about 400 members. We post analysis, charts, different perspectives. It's just a nice little community, very respectful. We don't tolerate bullshit. If you're going to come in and scream 100K, you better come with some analysis or you're going to get kicked out. But if you have an opposing opinion to what I'm saying on the screen and you have analysis to back it up, totally cool. Totally awesome. If you want to learn something new, like, for example, if you don't understand how something like price action works, or you don't understand how to draw support and resistance or trend lines, come to the Discord. Ask a question. We've got plenty of trading mentors. You can ask me. Feel free to ping me in the crypto chat. Whatever. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to baptize those in the truth. So, thanks. Would appreciate a like and subscribe as well. All right, let's see what else. What's up, Arrow? Comments, crosses. I mean, it's hard to give a time frame on when it does that, but ultimately, yeah, we see the inverted effect immediately. So back here, golden cross, we actually saw the inverted effect immediately. But in my opinion, we're very bearish. I mean, the weekly's showing a death cross, but at the same time, I just talked about the inversion, so we could cross. So we'll probably do something like this, like we'll cross right in a week or two. Like Bitcoin will go down, and then like right after the cross, we'll like pump back up to like 40K or some weird thing like that, and then probably continue down. Because the overall sentiment, in my opinion, is bearish. Make me feel by unhiding Ichimoku Cloud. Ah, you're such a European. Yeah, I can do that. So I'll kind of go through Ichimoku Cloud real quick. I'm not too great at it, but decent at it. Got some knowledge in the Japanese chart metric analysis. So, okay, Ichimoku Cloud. This thing's just, it's so cluttered. Okay, so I need to change a setting real quick so you guys can actually see what's going on. And I can... Right. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So Ichimoku Cloud. Basically, all you need to know is when we're above the cloud, we're bullish. So looking back, I'm going to hide some of these because this is getting rude. So let's get rid of lagging span, baseline. Let's leave the. So Ichimoku Cloud's it's a little complicated of an indicator, but for me, it just tells overall sentiment. It tells me when to be buying or selling or looking to stay out of the market. So Ichimoku Cloud, if you're above the cloud, bullish. If you are inside the cloud, don't trade. If you're below the cloud, bearish. So right now we saw this. We were below the cloud. We were in the cloud. Kind of back tested the cloud. Okay, now we're going up still. We convert back to bullishness. Now we're back inside the cloud. This is a zone with a lot of resistance. The cloud basically just says, okay, this is a lot of resistance. There's going to be a lot of volatility in here. I would either wait for a break above or a break below to buy an official breakout or short a potential breakdown. The cloud, again, very volatile space. I would stay out of it. Like, stay out of trading when we're in the cloud. Unless you really like volatile moves. Okay, back to question. Rookie question. How would you trade during a bear market? What would you look for? Any strategies? So when I started trading, was in the end of the 2017 bull market. So I saw like the last little bit of parabolic advance. I really didn't make anything. Made like a little bit. My portfolio was also tiny. It was like that. So for me, I learned how to trade in the bear market. It's hard. It can be hard, but you have to in the bear market, you have to be willing to take profit. Like if you're up 20 or 30% on a trade and you're like, I don't know, could continue up, could go down, take some profit, take some money off the table. That was one of the biggest things I had to learn was just get out. Like appreciate that you're up and you made a bunch of money. I mean, that's the whole point. So bear market strategy, like I'm a swing trader, so I'm looking for these these upward swings, selling close to the top, going, and then we go down, then we see. I mean, this is COVID, so hard example, but like I'm trying to get these upward swings. Like I'm trying to get in here, sell somewhere here, buy in here, sell somewhere up there. This is a little weird, but that is a triangle. If it broke out, I would have bought, but it didn't. I mean, making money in the bear market, you have to know that we're ultimately going down, so you're not going to get bailed out. Trading, longing in a bull market versus a bear market is 10 times easier because if you buy, you'll most likely get bailed out. In a bear market, we're ultimately going down. So you have to be good with stop losses. Don't be too flimsy. Be okay with taking profit and get out when you feel like you need to get out. I mean, we're not going to see some of these trades saw some nice like 2, 3, 4, 5x's, but you're not going to see a 20x during a bear market unless you're in some shit coin. But okay, let's go back. Scare the heck out of this. More than you. Thank you, Minden Hills Homestead Uke fan. Wow, that's a name. But no, I really appreciate it. Started live streaming about a week ago. Still kind of new to this. I got me a nice microphone now. So still kind of new. If there's anything I can do to improve, like let me know. I'm open. But I'm gonna put up a 15-minute. We're just gonna see. Yeah, like again, like I did say that we'd most likely see a head and shoulders. I believe now we're gonna go up, kind of, and do that. And then you have your LS head, and then your RS, and then this is your. So anything below that neckline, bearish, or next support's probably 40K. So just be on the lookout for that. Yes, swing trading is where it's at for crypto. In my opinion, swing trading is where it's at because you get the big move either in the middle or towards the end. You see that 20% day. If you're scalping, you're trading between support and resistance, so you're not getting that big breakout. You're not you're not absorbing those big gains. Now, granted, when you're swing trading, you're kind of edging in your portfolio. You're not 100% in 100% of the time. You're just kind of slowly stacking up that position. But when you're slowly stacking up and then that big move comes, man, it's payday. Payday. What's up, everyone? Sorry I was late. What's up, crazy? Yo, you got to see my intro. My intro slideshow is pretty pretty. I thought it was okay, but yeah. So for all of you guys who may or may not go crazy from the Discord, he is, or sorry, crazy. He's helping me with some stream stuff. He's helping me just build some stuff and make it a little bit more animated, a little bit more colorful. I think we're gonna build a thumbnail together. So thanks again, crazy. Shout out to you. You're an awesome guy. Don't trade in the cloud, people. Yeah, don't trade when your head's in the clouds either, like these moon boys. Am I right? Guys. These guys are so bad, man. I just man, I get on Twitter and I just have to let some things go. And I try to I really do try to put my analysis under some of these like big accounts like BitBoy and like I don't know who else, Michael Van Pope or whatever his name is. I really do. I try to put it there because there's a lot of new people in this space and they're gonna get totally screwed. Like these people are calling for 100K, and you know what they do? This is what they do. They go like this. They go 100K end of the year. Or they scream 100K. They have some big live stream where they do giveaways, and it's all just a distraction. It's all a distraction. Like there's nothing bullish on this chart. Like if it was bullish, trust me, I will tell you. I will give you that analysis. If there was conflicting analysis, bearish and bullish, I would give it to you. I'm honest. Like I don't short this market. I've never shorted before. I only make money when I long. What good does it do to tell all of you that I'm bearish right now? It does me nothing. Like I don't make any money. I don't get anything. So yeah, they think it's bullish 24/7 because the market's only gone up. But okay, here's the thing. You could buy right now. We're probably going to hit 100K. Yeah, we're going to hit 100K someday. But are you willing to hold a 50 to 60% price correction? So let me give it to you. Let's say you can buy a whole Bitcoin right now, 43K. You have $43,000 laying around. Don't know why someone would have 43K laying around, but awesome. So you got 43K laying around. You're like, I'm going to buy some crypto. I'm going to go to BitBoy Crypto and listen to that guy. And he's saying 100K, 100K. Okay, so I buy a whole Bitcoin right now. You know, my risk is a little tolerant because I know crypto is a little volatile. I know it swings and sometimes it goes up 10% and then down 20%, but I'm okay with that. You know, maybe not 20%, but up and down 10% intraday. I'm okay with that. Okay, so what if I told you that we're going to 20K and you could have gotten 2 Bitcoin instead, and then we go to 100K? What are you going to do? What are you going to do logically? Are you going to buy now or are you going to wait? Just saying. I'm bullish on this market overall too, but right now I see at least a couple months of a mini bear market. We could see a mini bear market cycle. It doesn't mean it's going to last for 3 whole years. It just means, hey, the sentiment overall is bearish. There's not a lot of bullish sentiment on this chart other than these crazy people calling for 300K by January. Like, coin pumps on YouTube. Yeah. If any of you guys have watched The Wolf of Wall Street, that's called a pump and dump scheme. Totally illegal. Like these people should be in jail. Like, all right. So I guess real quick, I wanted to go over. Let's see. Stupid. I guess I could go over. Yeah, let's go over some price action. I said I'd go over it. So price action. By my definition, it's the most important indicator in trading. verifies patterns, it verifies moves, it verifies breakouts, it validates, it invalidates. Price action is extremely important. Like screw MACD, screw RSI. If price action is bearish, I'm pretty much bearish. If price action is bullish, pretty much bullish. So let's look at this 4-hour. I kind of pulled this up earlier, but for all you new people that are here, I see we're up to 30 now. This is awesome. Thank you for coming to the stream. Really appreciate it. But price action. So ultimately, we see a bottom right. We see this bottom at 39.4, we'll say. So from that bottom, let's just draw an arrow to the top. Okay, so arrow's going to the top. Even though this was kind of a top, we're just going to where we currently are. I could even break this into sections, but I'm just going to try and keep it simple. We see we're above now. So we're ultimately in an uptrend. You could even draw your just a simple uptrend line. Let's just do that. So we're going up. Well, if you look at volume now from this bottom, all of our green spikes are going down. Psychologically, this means that there are less buyers willing to buy. I've seen that this could mean that there are no sellers in the market. Yeah, that's complete bullshit. You can short. You can short with leverage. I'm pretty sure most traders short with leverage if they short compared to longing with leverage. Because I know in the United States, the only exchange that offered shorting was Kraken, and you had to use 2x leverage. Like you couldn't short with no leverage. It's half the reason why I didn't trade or short. Not trade, trade. That's half the reason why I didn't short, because you had to use leverage, and I'm not willing to take that risk. If my stop loss doesn't get hit, okay, well now I just lost twice as much as I wanted to. So, but back to price action. You see that we're going up in price. It's a little weird. You know, this is weekend price action. We ultimately see the buying volume going down. That's a bearish sign. If you want to break it up and look at it real in depth, you can have, so you have like this here. So that's going up, lower volume. Okay, you see the spike, just a volatility spike. I covered this last stream. There was some news that came out, and even so, the news didn't put us anywhere, which to me is another bearish indication. But okay, let's look further. We have this kind of sideways movement, but now we're seeing from this big green candle here, we're going down in volume again, and we're going up in price. Again, kind of a bearish sign, not looking too bullish, especially on this 4-hour. If we look at a day, just to make it a little simpler, I like to use the day for price action anyways. I don't really like to use the hourlies that much. But okay, back to this. So we can see here, zooming out, this was the first wave of the bull market. This is the strong wave, as I've called it. And you see this volume going up, this price going up with it. That's really good. That's a really healthy bull market. That's a really healthy bullish move. Even though we see this big kind of sell-off here, I'm okay with that. I figure we're going to see another leg. Well, next we see kind of this upward move, and now we're seeing weakness. So by weakness, I mean from the bottom here, so from kind of this area of volume here, we're seeing volume going down as price is going up, which is a sign of market exhaustion. I believe some of this happened because Elon Musk got in the crypto space. You guys know that Elon Musk guy is? Some people hate him, some people love him. I like him. I don't love him, but I like him. I think he's smart. But yeah, he got into the market. I think that's kind of what inflated price. But again, we see a big drop. Still kind of going up though. The next thing, we see this next like upward move. Again, like volume's pretty low as price is going up. And then this final move to the all-time high, where again, volume is just continuing down. So we can see from this whole area right here, this is called market exhaustion, which usually leads to a distribution pattern or a sell-off pattern or a bearish reversal pattern, which is why we saw this head and shoulders here. And I will say, like, overall in the day, price action is pretty bearish. You have, again, volume going down, price going up. Not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I try to stay with major exchanges. When I'm looking at charts, major exchanges, because that's where most of the volume is. It gives you a better estimate of what buyers and sellers are doing. I also look at multiple exchanges. So I'll look at Coinbase. I believe this is Bitstamp, which not a lot of volume, but Bitstamp's one of the older exchanges. I use two Binance charts, one to USDC, one to USDT. So ultimately, like if my USDT, USDC, and my Coinbase chart are all kind of showing similar volume, I kind of just go with it. So Terry asks, when do you use Wix first body to draw trend? Um, I actually always use Wix. Um, Yeah, I pretty much always use Wix. I think it gives a more conservative approach and it shows where your risk will lie. So like it kind of shows like the broad scope. Look, like Wix, it's kind of like bouncing off or bouncing a little bit below support. Those orders are getting filled. There's a lot of volatility, and then we either bounce up or break down. So for me, Wix are kind of like, yeah, I would say I use Wix, but also with drawing support, like with this head and shoulders, like for me, we saw a lot of bounces at this 45K area. We didn't have any closes below this up until this. So for me, this is kind of the start of a support zone. If we're ignoring this breakdown, so looking at that, I mean that looks like 40K looks like good support. But also one of the things I've learned from Stizzy in the Discord is support and resistance is more of a zone. It's not just necessarily a line. So if you're going to draw support and resistance, kind of need to use a box. I don't like using boxes on my chart. It just makes it all cluttered and pisses me off. But yeah, I mean, you could say like that is our resistance. Or sorry, current resistance, prior support. You basically go from the bottom wick to where you close, in my opinion. So like here, we kind of see like bounce up, bounce up. You can draw a little lower if you wanted, but bounce up, breakdown, something like that. And now we're kind of in that resistance zone. But I like to use lines just because it's cleaner. It shows like true breakout, breakdown. Like if we saw green, if we saw this candle, like resistance like this, and we saw like this, if volume validated, it was said that. So yeah, back to like price action on this day, not really good. Like we see us break down, come back to prior support, low volume, pretty bearish. We're kind of seeing some sideways movement. You're never going to go down in a straight line. You have to go sideways here and there to continue down. Let's see. Saving me. Wonder what you think about B&B. Okay, so B&B I think is pretty bearish. Let's see. So yeah, B&B. I had shared this on Twitter the other day. Pretty bearish in my opinion. We have a double top. We have a breakdown. No retest, but continuing to break down. I see the bear has. He comes up. Hopefully he'll die. But no. So ultimately, double top. We're going down. If you're looking for some upward movement, we kind of need some sideways. I'd like to see an accumulation pattern. I don't see an accumulation pattern, so again, not looking too bullish. Usually in a big upward swing, you need to see something like this. Let's see. You need to see like these sideways. It's like if you're going down, you want to see sideways, where this would be your accumulation, and then you go up. We're still going down. We haven't really gone sideways. If we go 2 or 3 weeks sideways, then I'd say some accumulation's happening. Like we saw down here, this is your accumulation. We see up. We didn't really break a big resistance level, so now we're coming down. If we see sideways from here over like that, an accumulation pattern could very likely form. I mean, you could see an inverted head and shoulders here, where maybe we do some of this, make a head, make that right shoulder, and then bounce out like that. I mean, that's very likely. But ultimately, your monthly and your weekly charts are both pretty bearish. Alive. What's up, Chief? What's going on? I'm alive, baby. I had my surgery on Friday. I did do a stream on Saturday. So it was nice. Kind of hard to talk on Saturday, but powered through it. Well, I'm gonna take a few more questions. I'll go over a couple altcoin charts if you guys request. Just let me know, and then I'm gonna probably wrap it up. I think I've covered everything I've wanted to so far. So hit me with questions. Oh, I do see Avenger. Are you expecting a large quick drop that could catch traders for a series of smaller drops over time? So the thing with sell-offs, they're usually quick, they're usually steep, um, and that's partially because people are losing money and they panic. So that snowball rolls off the mountain very quickly. It's a very steep slope. Like if you zoom out, most of the selling, again, very quick, very steep, very quick, very steep. The upward moves are very like more of like a slope. There's more arc. This is just bang, bang. I'm kind of expecting. Sorry, yes, this kind of close to 20k. I'm expecting to stay along here, not really go wider. I'm expecting like kind of a sharp decline because sell-offs are usually pretty sharp. Let's see Bitcoin Cash. What? Bitcoin Cash. I don't even think I have Bitcoin Cash. I'll look at it. Only for you, buddy. Let's see. We'll look at Bitcoin Cash on Coin. Whoops, wrong. All right, Bitcoin Cash. Ooh, this is not good. Okay, so Bitcoin Cash. Just gonna draw simple trend lines. So bottom. So I'd say like that. Have the breakdown, then the test. Your neckline is probably something like that. And I guess you could draw some resistance like. Okay, so this is a head and shoulders. You have your head. Oh, that's an R. Your head and your right shoulder. So, and of course, you have your neck. So, this is a head and shoulders distribution pattern, bearish reversal pattern. It looks like we confirmed the breakdown. I mean, you could go and say a little conservative and say maybe that. Regardless, we're below the neckline now. We've kind of validated this, although we have not had a retest. I don't think you can go much higher here. You have some diagonal resistance coming down. It looks like the highest you could go is maybe today at 544. That's a 10%-ish increase. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, Bitcoin's kind of got a head and shoulders on the 1 hour that we're looking at, which I will go back to here in a second. But ultimately, Bitcoin Cash, pretty bearish in my opinion. Let me pull up my moving averages. Yeah, there's the death cross, failure to get the golden cross. Yeah, not very strong in my opinion, Cheese. Looking pretty weak, pretty bearish. Okay, so back to Bitcoin real quick because this kind of validates what I was talking about. Kind of seeing a head and shoulders playing out. Wow, we actually scam licked again. Liquidations in action. So I would say come back up to here and then ultimately drop. Like I said, being validated by both the 1 hour and the 4 hour, especially with MACD looking very weak. Do you think panic selling will start? Below 38K. I think 38K does it for a lot of people, but I think we'll see a really big sell-off below 30K because essentially you have 30K as a major support line, or that has been a major support line, and there's not really another support line up until 20K. So I think you break 38K, hypothetically, we break 38K, go straight down to 30K, probably in a day or two. Similar to what happened here, kind of bounce around a little bit. If we break 30K, I think we're going to see 20K the same day. Just because there's no support here. The price hasn't bounced off anything or retested in this area. So for me, this is what I call the danger zone. Suck at spelling. The danger zone. So this is the no trade danger zone, or at least no long, no DCA danger zone up until we touch 20K. 20K is probably going to be the magic number this bear cycle. Anywhere around there, might scam wick down to 17K, might see a couple days below 20K, but ultimately that 20K-ish area, going to be some big support. Probably going to see a big swing from what I imagine. If we see a lot of sideways movement on 20K, I'm absolutely expecting a big move upward. Can you once more show me the 50? Yeah, do that. I don't use EMAs though. I use the just normal MAs. It's personal preference and what you want to use, but I prefer just normal moving averages. I like to keep my charts simple. So, but here's Bitcoin, Coinbase. Here they are. We can see kind of like if you consider the 20 over the 200 a death cross, we have a death cross. I think the 50 is going to go back over the 200 here in the next week or so, which will make a death cross. Yeah. Highway to the danger zone, baby. That's where that guy went. That guy we kicked out this morning. Some guy came in and just kept screwing. Give us some analysis. I can't. And he started picking fights with people. Ever retested 20K? Yeah, but it doesn't mean we have to. I could be wrong, but again, pretty dangerous in this area. All right, I'll take one more question. I'll go over anything else. Depending on what that question is, I'll do my best. After that, I'm gonna call it for today. But I hope to see you guys Wednesday. Like I said, I stream every day, every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll tweet it out. I always put the notification in the Discord. And if you really like the content, please subscribe. Please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. It goes a long way in the YouTube algorithm. Just trying to spread some knowledge and teach people how to trade honestly instead of giving them a bunch of bullshit and wishful thinking. I think every trader has a really hard journey. Their portfolios go up and down, mostly down for the first part, especially in big swings. So if I can help you avoid that, I'm more than happy to. That's ultimately my goal, because when I first started out, man, all I did was listen to the Moon Boys. I was like, 100K, what? Or sorry, not 100K. I think back in 2017, it was like 50K or whatever. I mean, I got hosed a little bit. But yeah, no, if I more than willing to help you. Like I said, we also have a Discord. I believe the link is down below. So yeah, feel free to join. It's all free. We give analysis. We have plenty of trading mentors, plenty of people that know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. They wouldn't be trading mentors if they didn't know what they were talking about. But yeah, feel free to come by and join. Like, it's a great little community we got going on. Oh, sorry. Which color is which? So my yellow is my 20, my blue is my 50, and my white is my 200. My apologies. Let's see. All right, here's the question. AR, can you go over happy? Yeah, I can look. Ooh, this is on Qcoin. Okay. Gotta look it up. Dude, what is this chart? Uh, I mean, it kind of just looks like an exit coin, like a low cap. I don't. When did it start? June of 2021. I don't know, man. This doesn't really look like I can give a whole lot of analysis to this. I'm not gonna lie. Could continue up. I mean, I can try and do some basic stuff. So we see like, I mean, kind of a double bottom. Yeah, definitely a double bottom. So, and it looks like it's above the neckline, which would be here. So, oh, it broke above and it retested. Yeah, not bad. I mean, yeah, it's bullish in my opinion, but the rest of the market's pretty bearish. So, I don't necessarily think this is going to play out. Ah, thanks, Terry. I love being friggin' amazing. Yeah, like I said, happy to help you guys. Um, let's look back at this chart quick. So double bottom. Yeah, I mean the daily's overall bullish, but in the price action matches as well. But I can't say that this is a great chart to look at because it's over a really small period of time, and Bitcoin, which drives most of the market sentiment, is pretty bearish. So I wouldn't count on this making. I wouldn't count on this for like a long term. Oh, thanks, Phil. I appreciate it so much. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys liked it. Like I said, I'll be back Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. If something changes, I'll definitely let you know. Like I said, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Um, Always happy to help. Discord link down below. And as always,